What is going on, everybody? This is the Sports Nerd coming at you here live on this lovely Sunday afternoon here, wherever you are. My name is the Sports Nerd. If you guys are new to me, I talk all sports, NFL, NBA, some NHL, and even some baseball sometimes as well. But today we're not going to be talking about any of the last three. We're going to be talking about NFL Week 1 this week. We're going to do a very brief discussion here about Week 1 in general. We're not going to be making any predictions here. We're going to be talking about what games look interesting to the eye and what could have some key moments down the road, especially later in the season, which we will get into in just a moment. But real quickly, before we get into any of that, I just want to shout out a few people in the chat. I see Cameron, I see Nick. Thank you so much for tuning in here today. But if you guys, before we get into any of this news here, if you guys have it in you, please, I highly appreciate if you guys would hit that like button, hit that subscribe button down below, that little red subscribe button right down there in the corner right over there, and then ring that notification bell right next to that subscribe button, and you will be able to get notified of all my other videos that I come out with in the future. And share this video out with your friends to make sure you guys always let them know that this is the place to be for, to subscribe and to always get their news from here, along with subscribing to all the other guys that you guys are already knowing of Norb, Noah, and Calvin. So, but without further ado, let's get things underway here. So, as you guys already know, we have Week 1 already coming up very shortly. So, obviously, we kick off on Thursday with the Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, knock on wood, baby. And with that, very interesting game here, I think, because I think that it's not a very difficult time to lose. I mean, not time to lose. It's not very difficult to lose against this team. But if you sleep on them, they will take advantage of you, I think. And here's why I think we will win this. Well, I'm not going to say it, but that's just an interesting game to say that as well. But because tomorrow, which I am going to be doing on the roundtable, is my predictions for, of course, this game, which I'm talking about here, and then a couple other games like the Hawks game and that. But we will say that this is a very interesting game. I think these are two playoff-bound teams. I think these are also going to be very critical down the road for seeding potentially. Okay, again, only seven teams make the seven teams make the playoffs this year, which means that only one team gets a bye. So it's going to be a little bit more critical, I think, that if these two somehow are in the battle for a bye, these would 100% be a very critical game. But looking at these Sunday matchups, I'm really looking forward to these matchups, actually. I'm looking at, obviously, the first one on that list for a 10 a.m. start would be the Hawks and the Falcons, which, by the way, if you guys are interested, Norb and Sleeta collabing tonight at 4 p.m. Go check out Norb's channel. Link in the description below. But what I did want to also say is that, again, that is one of the things, of course, you guys want to start off really well. The Falcons are, I think a lot of people are sleeping on them. I'll say why here. They got some good talent. They got Matt Ryan. He's old, but, you know, he still can, I think, bring something to the tank. Julio Jones there as receivers. Julio Jones in there still at receiver. Calvin Ridley, a couple other weapons on that side. So I think that it's going to be a good test, I think, for the Seahawks to finally get over there and actually beat the Falcons. And while I do think that this will be a win for the Hawks, barely, as you guys can tell by the line, they're only 1.5-point favorites, the Hawks, going into Atlanta. Now, that's not very much. So, and if you add in the 3-point home advantage for the Falcons, that means that they are 4.5-point underdogs. So, again, not that much, but this can either go any way. And I think this is going to be a very good strength for you guys to also look at where you guys should improve on, what you guys learned from this week, because you guys got a couple other big games throughout the line coming up after this one that you could learn your mistakes from here and use that in the future games as well. But that's for that game, which I'm very much looking forward to. Again, the good thing about having an opening Thursday night game is that you can always watch anything on Sunday, which means that you can watch any 10 a.m. game. You can basically watch any any 1 o'clock game. Well, I'm actually going to say in Eastern time just because that's just going to be easier for me from now on. So, no, I'm going to be saying this in Eastern time and not in Pacific time, just so it makes it easier for me. So please stand by and please know exactly what it means for you guys because I know not a lot of you live on the East Coast here. But that's the first 1 o'clock game for me now, or 10 a.m. for you guys. But the other thing I'm looking at here, which is very interesting, is my guy Devontae Parker in the Patriots. This is a very different looking team here. And I really need, if you guys do not know, I got Devontae Parker as my receiver. Probably consider my number one receiver on that team. I think he's going to be a very good weapon here. But the big question is, what do I think is going to happen? Because, of course, Tua's not going to start. He's going to be probably watching Ryan Fitzy on the bench. And I'm just wondering, how often is he going to throw it to him? Because I think he's projected to get a lot of points in that game. But it all depends on what happens with what Ryan Fitzpatrick does. And that's just still to be determined. So that's probably a game that I'm very much looking forward to watching just because I want to see how the Patriots fail for once after all those years of winning, for God's sakes. And that I'm not ready to watch. So those are the first two games. Now, my second game I'm actually looking forward to also watching is the other AFC East battle between the Jets and the Bills in Orchard Park with John Brown going for me. And I think this is going to be a good game for Brown as well. So I think that, that I'm very much looking forward to watching how is John Brown going to play, especially. I think he will play well, especially for that. So that's just another game I'm looking forward to on the 10 a.m. side. And also some notable games on the 10 a.m. side. We have an NFC North all-out battle. We got the Bears at the Lions and the Packers at the Vikings. Very much looking forward to seeing how the Packers turn out there. Then we got the Ravens and the Browns. I'm thinking, what is going to happen with that team? The Browns are going to probably already suck, is what I'm going to say. But I think that for what I'm looking forward to here is... that's what I meant to say. Anyway, I think that the Ravens are favored by a lot. They're favored by 8 points plus the home field, 11 points to win this game. If they don't cover that spread, I'm sorry. They don't deserve any kind of respect. Because the Browns, they're way better than them. And they deserve to easily cover that spread, if not beat out the spread. So that's what I'm looking at there. Now, we got a couple interesting. We got 3 later games, obviously, with one 105 and then 2 125 games. I'm not going to worry about that for the 405 my time, 105 your time games. Because that's the Chargers and the Bengals. I mean, that's just Tyrod Taylor's going to be starting. I'm not really interested in that. But the other thing I'm very much looking forward to seeing is the Bucs and the Saints. I'm looking forward to seeing this game as well. This is going to be a shootout. It's not a shootout game. Maybe either a shootout or a low-scoring game. Because I think that the Bucs, their defense heavily improved last year near the end of the season. They're going to be riding on that, so I think they're going to do that as well. They have a new kicker, especially in Ryan Suckup. I think he's going to play well. One of the best accurate kickers in the league. Even though he's old, he definitely has a good accuracy in that league. Of course, Brady. Of course, you got Fournette on that side, who's not starting, but he will sooner than later. And then, of course, you got Gronk, Goodwin, Evans, and a lot of guys on that offensive side. I'm looking forward to that game against Breeze, Thomas, Kamara, all those other guys. I'm very much looking forward to that. Then, for you guys especially, which I'm not going to be watching this game, but just to note you guys got Niners, Cardinals at Levi Stadium. Now, obviously, I know you don't want any of these two teams to win. Because the Cardinals and Niners are like battling with you guys. Now, but if you had to go with one, you got to root for the Cardinals here. And here's why. The Niners, I think, are going to be the tougher team to beat because they have a good defense. They have some good talent on the offensive side. You want them to go down because once you play them, you want to be up on them. Even if they're tied, you also want to get a game ahead on them so that way they can be trailing by at least a game throughout the rest of the season, throughout Week 17 game. So I will definitely be rooting for the Cardinals in that game. I don't want any of those two teams to win just because obviously I do not like the Niners because... As you guys know that we beat them in the Super Bowl, and once you beat a team in the Super Bowl, you pretty much never want to root for them. So that's what I take on that game. And then we have, of course, the Sunday night cap between the Boys and the Rams. Again, I think those are two teams you guys would probably not want to see win, but I am, of course, rooting for the Cowboys and not the Rams, obviously, as well. But The Monday night games, we got Jadeveon Clowney and the Broncos at the 7:10 PST game on Sunday night, and then we have the Steelers Giants at the 4:15 PST on Monday night to wrap up games there. So those are just a rundown of the Week 1 games there. And now I just wanna, if you guys have any opinions in the chat, you guys can definitely read them as well. I'm very much looking forward to. Let me see what you guys got to say. I still have the Pats in that game though. I probably do think I have the Pats in that game too. I'm just excited to see that though, Nick, just because I want to see what to call. I want to see how Devontae Parker plays, especially like. It's not going to be every week that I get to watch the Dolphins, especially because the Chiefs will be playing on Sunday. Of course, but this is, of course, the opening week. The Chiefs got the opening Thursday night game. So, and I think I really want to see how Devontae Parker says, because Devontae Parker plays, my bad, not Devontae Parker says, because a lot of people are saying he's going to be one of the top receivers, which I think he will be too, and I want to see how he plays, especially against the very different-looking Patriots. A lot of guys opted out. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they play. I am rooting for the Dolphins in that one, just because I do not like the Patriots, of course. Plus, I want to go for my guy Devontae Parker as well. What else do you guys got? You can put your questions in the chat. I'll very likely answer them. I have the Giants and Broncos winning. I do also too. Parker was a late bloomer. I like that comment too, actually. I think he was too. I think the Rams got an upset week 1. Ooh, okay. I like that pick there. I do like that. But I just think that defensive side of the ball, how is Jared Goff going to play by avoiding sacks on that defensive side of the ball? They got some good guys over there. That's going to be the key there. I want the Cards to win. Yeah, I want them to. I want Elman to go off for fantasy as well. I do want him to go off as well for sure, but I'm not exactly sure if that's going to be the case. So we will see how that goes. But the other thing that I do want to let you guys know about, which will be coming up, is what I'm saying here is that this is only week 1. What is the goals of week 1? I'm going to actually say this right now because you guys leave your opinions in the chat also, because I'm actually going to say my opinions of the team now because the roundtable we're super busy tomorrow, and I just don't think to keep the show under 2 hours for your entertainment, and especially for mine since I'm doing it around 6 o'clock my time at night, I will try and keep it under 2 hours, especially with the trivia as well. So I'm going to just say this now. What are the goals for the team each year? Now, when I'm saying the goals for my team here, you guys can leave it in the chat about the Seahawks as well. Only what you're expecting on the offensive side and defensive side of the ball. Not where your team is good, you wish they make, because that's obviously a no-brainer. Just what are your goals for them both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball? Not where they're going to make it in the playoffs, not their place, but what is it going to be on both sides of the ball? What are your goals for that? So, obviously on the offensive side of the ball, I want good chemistry. I think Mahomes has a lot of great weapons on his side as well. It's going to be about, of course, at least Tyreek Hill is listed right now as questionable with that hamstring. Obviously, we need to get him healthy. That's going to be the goal there. And then we're going to have, excuse me, my bad cough there. But what I am asking is for that to please play well on the opposite side of the ball, make correct passes, no stupid plays, no penalties, third down efficiency. That's especially what is going to be on the offensive side of the ball, because the Chiefs play a lot of good teams this year. Especially my team plays a lot of good teams this year, and I really think that if we don't convert on third downs, especially against the Bucs, against the Ravens, against the Saints, they will take advantage of it, because these are teams that can score the ball very well. If you give them possessions and not get anything, not even threes and not sevens, they will take advantage of it. They will increase the lead, and then that will be that. But so that's that on the offensive side of the ball. And then on the defensive side of the ball, we want to get some sacks. We have a very good pass rush. Play some good teams this year, and we want to keep the teams out of the end zone. Get good pressure on the quarterback. Make sure our secondary, everyone stays healthy. Just some of those basic things. Because I've seen, especially a lot of times, especially you guys last year. If you look at the injuries that you had later in the season, or throughout the season as well, you guys got Tyler Lockett was missing for a stretch of time. You lose your starting tight end in week 6. You lose your center, left guard, and left tackle for most of the year. But you lose all 3 of your running backs. So it's especially important for you guys to stay healthy. I think it will. And that's just with any team, because injuries can kill a lot of teams, and they will especially derail them later on in the year. So let me guys know what you guys think in the chat, what you guys want offensively and defensively, and then I will 100% take that into consideration. Off topic, but my family has different favorite team. Yep, my family does too, sadly. Obviously, I am the red and gold of the Kansas City Chiefs, of course. So I'm a Chiefs fan. My brother is a Packers fan, sadly. And then my dad is a Bucks fan. And my mom is a Jets fan. So we got 4 different teams in this family. It's kind of scary to think about it. First time when did you become a Chiefs fan? 2010. Yes, Cameron, you are right. When I started watching football, 2010. Luckily, we were still good back then. Not as good as we were now. Alex Smith's still at quarterback there. We made it to, of course, what do I think about that team back then? They were good. They were okay. But now this is by far, I could say, the best caliber team I've seen in a long time. Of course, Alex Smith. We had, of course, Jamal Charles. He was okay. But if you look at the runners now, we have, on that offensive side of the ball, it's just crazy. So that's why they were good, they were good, but not, absolutely amazing. Wow. Not Castle. Yeah, that was a bad memory. Alex Smith wasn't the Chiefs. Yeah, I wasn't talking about 2010. I wasn't talking 2010, Nick. I was talking overall back then. All those 2012, 2013 also. Not just 2010. My bad about that, if I confused you. Dude, I hope your new running back, Clyde Edwards, he'll bet. Hilaire does good. What do you think about him? Wow. It hurts, obviously, not a Damian Williams. That's 100% for sure. But I have faith in him. Of course, he's a rookie. We all understand that. 3rd-round pick. But what I do want to say is I just want him to prove himself a little bit. I think he will be okay. But I just want him to prove himself a little bit because he's going to need to know that he's stepping into the ring this year, filling in for a veteran, for a starting running back position, and not Damian Williams is not carrying the way through. So he needs to know, in coming into account, that he needs to play at that mindset that he is the starter for that team, and he has to play that way. Because if he doesn't and he just does not play that way, I don't think he's going to play up to his full potential. I want him to play up to his full potential. So I think he will be okay, but I just need to see him prove himself a little bit more, if you were asking. So that's my thoughts on him. But go to Discord after the show. I have an idea. All right, I will do that. 2 of my uncles are Saints fans. One of them is Seahawks, and one of them is a Steelers fan. Majority of my cousins are Saints fans also. My intermediate family are Seahawks fans like me. Wow. I have never, Saints. Two Saints. One of them's a Seahawk. One of them's a Steelers fan. Man, you got a lot of. Man, I don't know how I would live in that family. That's just, that's kind of incredible, in my opinion, if I had to say that. I wouldn't draft Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I didn't draft Clyde Edwards-Helaire, if you were wondering about that, because obviously I took Drake. Noah took him before me, so we're good, Nick. We're good. But I wouldn't draft him either, if you were wondering that too, just because I want to see more of him prove before I even have a chance of thinking about drafting him. That's why, if he was available still, I probably still would have taken Drake, because I think Drake would 100% be better. For now, I want to see him prove himself a little bit, and then that would be that. And then I maybe will think about him for a future year. Anyway, I see a couple questions for you guys. If you guys want to, alright, hold on. There we go. Alright, I thought it was cutting out for 1 second. What's it like having different fans of different teams in your family? My whole family are Hawks fans. What do I think about that? I can't describe it in one word. So what I would say is it's very passionate. We all have different opinions because we each root for different teams. Of course, some teams are better than others, if you had to say that. Of course, the best team in the world. Anyway, but living in the family with a Jets fan, that is, I cannot wait to whip their ass. My bad. Wrong word there. I cannot wait to kick their butts. That's what I should have said. In when we play them, but I do think that living with a Jets fan is tough. But I do think that having different teams in the family is probably a very fun experience. But I think it's very fun to talk about different teams, especially when teams are better than others. Excuse me, or that. So it's definitely fun living with different teams. Said a bad word. Nope, I caught myself. You may have thought I did, but I actually really did. My dad is a Hawks and Raiders fan. Ooh. Well, I do not know how your dad could be two fans. So let's say you two play each other. Like Hawks and the Raiders play each other. How does he react? That's what I don't understand really. I'm just about to wrap this up here. Any last questions before I wrap this up? Because I do have a game I am watching right now, obviously. Trying to complete the 4-game sweep. Up by 4 right now, which is a very good thing. I'm trying to get the 4-game sweep over the Milwaukee Bucks. Doing good so far. So that's what I'm doing right now. But that's it. So just for you guys to know, tomorrow we'll have our roundtable at around 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, with, of course, Nick, Cameron, Rishi, and Jose, of course, on there as well. But, yeah, so I hope you guys tune in for that. We got a bunch of topics tomorrow for that. And then tune in tonight, 7 Eastern on Norbham, or Norb's channel, for Sleeta and Norb's collab pregame. We are taking live call-ins tonight on there, so get your phones ready, especially for that. And I cannot wait to see you guys tonight at 4 p.m. Until next time, have yourselves a great rest of your day. If you have not done so already, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and ring that bell to get notified of all my other videos. Share the video out with your friends to make sure they know everything that goes on this channel. Subscribe to all the channels you see down below if you've not done so already. And until next time, have a great rest of your Labor Day weekend. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific for our roundtable. And until next time, my name is the Casey Sports Nerd. Have yourselves a great rest of your day. And go Chiefs, go Cougs. See you guys.